Are you familiar with this diagram? Yes, it's the value ladder from Russell Brunson. And if you're familiar with it, congratulations, you've been poisoned by the internet marketing. This diagram made us more than $1 million in sales, but also burnt us out really bad. So in this episode, we wanted to share with you the 3 main shifts that we took to scale back and build a business that now runs on simplicity, joy, and inbound leads. This episode is not gonna be suitable for people just starting out in their online business journey. If you've never sold a course or a program or you never launched, this video is probably not gonna be very beneficial for you. But if you have been working on your online business for a while, you've found some success, you've been launching and tried all sorts of marketing tricks and you are tired of it, this is the perfect episode for you because we wanna show you a new way. And we don't want you to burn out, so stick with us and we'll show you how we do it in a way that it's not gonna make you feel like you wanna quit your business, but actually being energized by it.
Hello, wonderful soul. My name is Alessia, and this is my incredible husband and partner in crime, Jacopo. And we are the co-founders of Lazy Dancer Tips and Profitable Talents. Lazy Dancer Tips was my passion project. I wanted to share ballet with the world. I had 20 years and more of experience in the ballet world. I was a professional ballerina. And at one point during my career, in between jobs in the West End and auditioning, because I was so frustrated, I also wanted to find a way to be creative and share everything that I had and my knowledge. And my wonderful husband was so busy trying to work by himself, well, not by himself, but in a company where he was creating visual effects, 3D models of films, and obviously dealing with all the stuff that he had to deal at work. The last thing that he wanted to do was to deal with a desperate housewife in a search of the next big job in her dance career. And so one day he came home so excited about wanting to help me out, and he said, "My darling, I've got an idea. Why don't we, instead of you running around searching for a job or searching for a teaching work, why don't we create a ballet school online?" And I remember I looked at him and I thought to myself, I think this is the stupidest idea you've ever had, but I really like it because it's so different. It's so out of my comfort zone that I so don't have anything else to do. I really want to give it a go and I want to do my best. So we started creating YouTube videos because why not? Pushing away the couch.
I had a second job.
Yay! So we pushed the couch on the side into the kitchen because it was a very small apartment in London, and we started creating these videos. I was dancing away, I was sharing my passion. And the good thing was that every time that we put our video on YouTube, people loved it. And the channel kept growing. But when we started getting 10, 15,000 subscribers, we said we were gonna be a reach. But the problem was that the more we posted, the less money we were getting, and actually no money was coming in. Obviously, relying on YouTube revenue was not what made us the $1 million.
No.
As you could tell, we were not marketers. I was a ballerina and he was a 3D incredible artist. And we just started studying. We needed to figure out how to make this machine work. And we soon realized, thanks to Russell Brunson and the value ladder that you saw before, that we needed something more. So I started creating more content to be behind paywall. So we created courses and membership and upsells and downsells and funnels and you name it, we did it, and lead magnets as well. So we did it all, and the more we grew and the more we created. At the peak of our success, we were making 40K a month in sales. We had a team of 7, 13 products, because my husband stopped me, otherwise I would have made more, and 1 membership, of which I constantly had to feed new content because that's what I thought I had to do with membership. Everything was low ticket. And as low ticket goes, obviously the more traffic, the more content we had to put on YouTube to make this machine run. And as you can tell, we found ourselves into this hamster wheel content creation madness. We constantly had to deliver live classes and live content, workshops, or you name it. Again, we did it all. We designed and deployed monthly funnels and campaigns. How mad was that? And 2 big launches a year. I'm sure if you've done a launch, you know what it means, and you know the amount of work that had to go into creating launches.
Launch.
I know. It makes me feel... My stomach just like crunches just the thought of it. I just wanted to show you this picture because this is a picture of me having a nap in between writing emails on a holiday. That was during a launch. And at that moment we said, this is silly. This cannot be everything every time that we have to we can't create constantly like this. It's too much, and I was exhausted, and I had enough with being exhausted. To which one day I literally did freak out. I wasn't sleeping. I did freak out, and I said, my darling, I love you so much, but I think this cannot keep going. I feel anxious. Every time I have to create something, I have this anxiety coming up 4 months before we even have to start. I haven't had a holiday in so long because every time we go on holiday, we take our work with us, and this has to stop. So I said, you need to find a better way, because at the end of the day, it was your stupid idea to start with. So I left it to him to figure out. He's my incredible husband.
And yes, and if you're a husband, you know how it feels to be always wrong, but that's okay. I took the challenge and I ran with it. Also because I had no choice. She said she didn't want to do it anymore. If you are like me, that you would just grind and hustle until your fingertips are consumed, you need somebody like her to tell you when to stop. And that for us was a wake-up call. We needed to change direction because our business was definitely not sustainable. On paper, we were everything that all the industry was supposed to aspire to. But deep inside, we were constantly running at 200%. So things had to change. And things did change. It took us a bit of time. It took us a bit of time to mainly let go of what we knew it worked and what we built up until that point. But we grew as people, and therefore we made better decisions. And the outcome of those decisions is what we're going to share in a minute. The outcome of what we've managed to work through was that we ended up firing the whole team. We had a team of 7, now it's just the 2 of us. At some point we'll hire a VA, I'm sure, because we'll need some operation stuff. But for now, it's just a very lean team. We don't mindlessly create monthly new funnels based on our promotions. We don't run exhausting launches anymore. We don't create content just because we wanted to grow our audience. We don't care about vanity metrics anymore. We only share what we are enjoyed, what we're excited about. And our house is not a TV studio anymore. I can just put up a simple camera like this and talk, and this is what I want to do. Let me walk you through the 3 main shifts that made this happen so that you can take what resonates and apply it into your business. The first main shift that we had to go through was our model. I extracted this frame from one of my early coaching calls. It was to represent our very early version of our funnel, and it made us about £200,000 a year, this funnel by itself, and it vaguely resembles the value ladder, isn't it? You've got your traffic, you've got a free lead magnet that leads to a thank you page where we sell a low ticket digital product that also has an order bump and an upsell on the checkout that also leads to an email sequence that onboard people on the membership and that also upsell them into another product. That was how we started making multiple 6-figure a year and kept on growing. But because Alessia is a very creative person, started creating more product. Also because the lead magnet stops working after a while. The low ticket product is not as converting anymore. So we needed to constantly replenish the funnel with more stuff. And we ended up with this. This is what I now call the spaghetti monster business. It's all of our product that I tried to make sense of with quiz funnels, with onboarding email sequences, with automations. And I am very good with Kajabi. I can manage it, but I shouldn't have. I should have stopped and said, this stuff is crazy. We'll never be able to manage it. We'll never be able to know when something isn't working anymore. And also, if we keep creating stuff, if we keep creating funnel, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot for real this time and stay in bed for a month because I don't wanna do this anymore. We had to kill the spaghetti monster business. We did it with something that we now call the access model. And it's way simpler than you can imagine. If you are selling your product in terms of your knowledge packaged as a product, or you have a coaching business where you coach people, mentor people one-to-one or one-to-many, or even if you do down for you, this model is going to be great for you. The access model is so simple that I can explain it to you with just one slide, and here it is. In the middle, there's you. And as you can see, you've got bubbles around you, some kind of protective layers all around you.
Very protective.
Why is it called access? Because imagine for a second, you could only choose one offer out of your product suite that you have in your business right now. And you can only choose one. And ideally it would be the one that you enjoy delivering the most, that also creates the best results for your clients. And that would be the only offer you can focus on. Which one would you pick? Now, that offer, imagine it's the only offer you can work on. Imagine how simpler your business could be. But how can you have multiple products if you only have one offer? That's when the access model comes in. Because for example, if you think about your offers as layers of pricing instead of different offers, everything changes. Because for example, you can think about having one coaching offer that, let's say at the highest touch is one-to-one, full on. We get on Zoom, we get on Voxer, we review your resources, you get feedback one-to-one, tailored support. That is the highest touch one-to-one support you can give. That is one offer around one specific avatar, one specific dream outcome. Great. That is not very scalable, is it? It's not. If you want to scale that, you can have another layer of pricing that maybe remove some access from you. Let's say you don't want to do Zoom calls anymore. You only want to do Voxer access. So you maybe don't do reviews, direct reviews. You only have people accessing you through Voxer. It works perfectly for continuation. When somebody works with you one-to-one, you create the best results, and then it's just a maintenance. Voxer only, it's a perfect solution. Of course, it's a little bit cheaper, but it's also less access to you. How do you scale that? You can create another layer again. Same offer, same avatar, but this time the access is not one-to-one anymore. It's in a group setting. You can create a community. It's exactly the same offer. And from that point on, you remove yourself more and more, and you can create as many offers as you want because you can sell the one-to-one sessions as add-ons. You can even do down for you that it's an add-on based on the layer that your clients are on. Do this and your focus would be up here because you don't have to spread your energy across courses, membership, masterminds, and one-to-ones. It's one offer, different layers of access to you.
We also said that we got rid of launches. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of launches, although I loved having everyone, 100, 150 people in the same virtual room together dancing, but there was at one point where I couldn't handle it anymore. So we got rid of those as well with the one very simple thing that we now call the invisible funnel.
If you think about what we do when we launch, it's clear that we basically want to gather as many people as possible into a live online event. But what do we do with this event? Let's analyze that for a second. We want to, 1, build rapport really fast. 2, we want to shift beliefs with a solution that maybe they don't know about, which is your vehicle, your method. 3, we want to give a taster of the solution by teaching some tips and frameworks. And obviously 4, you want to invite them to fix their problem with you, aka buy your stuff. This is what a launch does. And everything else attached to it is just an exhausting series of emails, of reminders, of the offer is closing, it's not closing, now it's closed, you can't have it anymore, price is up, all of that madness we don't want to deal with. We just want, as coaches, as mentors, we want to work with clients because that's our passion, right? How do we avoid doing all of this? So we asked ourselves, can we replace launches with just content? And if yes, how do we do it? Well, now that we've sort of dissected what a launch should do, why don't we create content that has the same effect? And we discovered that we only need the 4 types of content, or 4 types of elements in our content. Because we need our story. This is what we introduced in every launch. People want to relate to you. And your story is perfect. Your story doesn't mean that you need to tell them everything you've done so far in your life. It's not your journal. It's like, let's find the core stories that are relevant to our ideal client. They will resonate with us. This builds rapport. Then we want to share our method. You can dive into your method as much as you want in content. You can take one pillar and unpack that. You can go bird eye view and explain it generally. You can find many excuses to do that. And that builds clarity. Because it feels like you've studied it. You know, just winging it, you know what you're doing because you've been there and you fixed it. We also need to share our results, right? Testimonials, case studies, results that we produce for ourselves or for our clients. This builds trust. And most importantly, we don't want to neglect our invitations. Invitations for people to take the next step for them, to get closer, to get slightly more access to us. And from content online, it might be something like sending a DM, booking a call if you do that, or fill up an application form on a website, anything that would make them get closer to you, and this starts conversations.
One of the most important thing regarding your content is about, as Jacopo said, the relation. You need to build up a relationship with the person that is on the other side. You need to see if you vibe with that person, because otherwise we go back into creating content for people that we don't even like. So we need to think about how it resonates, to get to know. They need to get to know ourselves, you know, as coaches, as people, but also we want to get to know them. Content that resonates, content that vibes, because this is how we want to live our life. We want to surround ourselves with people that we like, not only in life, but also people that we coach one-on-one. It's one of the best feeling to be in a room, even if it's a virtual room, with people that you care about their business, and you understand each other. So think about this whenever you're creating content, create it because you like it, and that energy will emanate in the best way possible.
And part of the process that we do with our clients about getting the communication right between you and your dream clients, the new type of clients that you want to attract, is to really get clear on your values as well, on how you can help them, but in a language of your clients, not in a language of you, the expert, which is usually up here. You tend to maybe sometimes show off a little bit, trying to find words that are not very simple. This is what we do with our clients as well. But the invisible funnel is not just content. The visible funnel is a way of channeling all of this resonance through a specific asset. So we're not just spraying and praying that people will find us. We want to create content that contains specific messaging after we've nailed it down, but also send all of the traffic from this content to a specific piece of content that we call alignment intro video. As you can see, all of the pieces of content that you create might talk about your story, your method, and etc. They might refer to each other, so they create bingeability, and people that buy binge your content. But at some point, we want to send them to a video or a piece of content that contains all of the elements that we spoke about all together, so that if they found you because of your story, then they'll know the rest of the story. If they found you because they like your method, then they'll get to know your story through this video. And this video takes them on a journey with you that at the end would make them understand who you are, why you've done what you've done, how it works to work with you, and what is the next sensible step if they decide they want to work with you. This leads to you wake up in the morning with inbound leads, sending you DMs on Instagram or wherever social channel you use, website application forms, this is what we use, or maybe even people booking a call automatically if that's what you want. This is how we replace launches with content that, first of all, we are excited about. And if we are excited about it, we create resonance, but with strategy using the invisible funnel formula, and we don't have to worry about leads anymore. That's the beauty of it. And of course, it all sounds like strategy and funnels at this point, but there is one thing, one element, the third shift that we really needed to work on ourselves, which makes all of this work. Because if we don't master what we're about to share, none of what we spoke about before will ever work.
What we're talking about is your energy. Isn't it funny? I just mentioned that before about how to create content and the fact that you want to vibe with the other person, you want to resonate with people that are out there. And the way we do this is in a way to find ourselves, find our voice. One thing is sure, that when I created Lazy Dance Tips, I was so geeking out on talking about ballet, and I loved it so much and I shared so much that what I created was an incredible community. There was so much of a geek as much as I was, and we love and we still love getting together and sharing that passion. I wasn't pretending, I was just me, unapologetically me, in every possible way, crazy me, speaking about what I loved in every possible way. There was a time when we started creating content for the sake of creating content, because it had to meet the deadline, it had to come out on a weekly basis. We had to create the launch, and therefore we had to create content that was in line with the launch that we were doing. And even a couple of agencies that we worked with, they pushed me into creating content that felt wrong. It felt so sleazy and so horrible that I felt that I was almost like scamming my people, and that did not go down well with me. Only when we stopped obsessing about the views, the likes, the content creation, the constant push, only then we started creating energy, the right energy and the right content. We started attracting the high caliber people that wanted to be around us. People just came and wanted to say and said, guys, how do I work with you? I love your energy, I love who you are, and I love seeing you like that. I want more of that. I want more of you.
We even asked them, would you have contacted us if we had to go through a 5-day challenge that was completely free online? Like, they said, no way. I knew that I needed coaching from you. I didn't need to go through all of that shenanigan. I want to work with you. How do we work with you? Because high caliber people don't need all of that marketing. So we stopped doing and we just showed up as ourselves. How crazy is that? How complicated can that be? We have one specific client that we adore, because every time she sends us a Boxer message about how she feels, we asked her to send us Boxer access, because we are shifting her identity in this new person that she wants to become. She came to us because she was overwhelmed, Yasmin. And she said, guys, I've been through the marketing, I've done all of that, I've done courses, launches. Now I need to really understand what I'm doing, because I feel like I've lost myself in the process, following agencies pretty much like us. And then the only thing we gave her was a space to get rid of all of that clutter and be more of herself, getting more in tune with the language of their ideal clients, but mainly with this new model that is very simple. We crafted a new offer, and then it's been a couple of months now that she sent us messages like, guys, I don't know how to describe how I feel. Do you know when you fall in love with somebody? This is better. And I'm like, she can't be serious, but she is. And if you contact me privately, I'm gonna send you the voice message so you can hear it. It's true. This is what fuels us. Like I love when people finally come back home and they just find a way for them to help others with their own craft, with their own expertise, their own way, in their own terms. To summarize, what made us change completely our life and simplify our business from complete burnout into something that now almost runs effortlessly is three main shifts. The first one is a change of model. The access model changed everything. Not a million products, million offers, just one offer with layered pricing. The second shift was removing launches altogether and replacing it with very strategic but resonant content done in a way that makes people want to buy from you without you having to launch or do workshops or online launches, anything, any of that. But the third shift was really getting more aligned with what life we want to live. And out of that, reverse engineer a way of living and therefore designing a business around that. Because our business should really fuel our life, not being us being slave of this business that we want to grow no matter what, which is what we did for the initial 6-7 years in business. This is not the way anymore, simply because it's not sustainable. It can be a phase of grinding. There's nothing wrong with that, especially at the beginning. But that is a sprint that cannot become your standard. And this is what we coach our clients through. We go through our method. We start from you. We go and analyze what you really want, what you want your life to look like. And then we reverse engineer not our cookie cutter method, but we tailor, we co-create your new business 2.0 to fuel the life that you decided you want. This is what we enjoy doing. This is what we love doing because we've done it for ourselves, and just there's nothing that makes us more happy than helping others do the same. And if this has been a breath of fresh air for you, it's not because we're special, but because you are ready. And if you feel you are ready and you need some guidance to level up, to finally go through this next phase of your business, and you'd like our help, let's chat. We've got a link in the description down below that shows you how you can get in contact. It's going to be an application form where you can just fill it up and send us a message. We'll review and get back to you. As simple as that. It's an invitation because we don't want you to keep on doing the same things that you already know what kind of results they produce. You know if it feels like you need to change, because you need to start respecting yourself more. Like I wish you freaked out earlier to tell me, I don't want to do this anymore, this is insane. And I would have understood that earlier. So if you are in that journey, if you are almost burnout and your business need to be straightened up and realigned, mainly realigned with who you want to be, with who you are, we are here for you.
I love thinking about our businesses as a closet filled with clothes that, if you look at it, some of that clothes don't fit anymore. They don't look good. They don't represent us anymore. So thinking about what we can declutter. And I know that sometimes the clutter in a closet by yourself can be daunting. So you need a pair of friends that can be there with you and just say, no, that doesn't look good, and you know that doesn't feel right. No, if you put it on, does it feel like you? And that's exactly what we do with our business. We open the closet of business and we get rid of anything that doesn't, as Marie Kondo says, I love it, I love her to bits, doesn't spark joy anymore. So this is our way of doing it. We declutter the business to make it spark joy. Because I know that the reason why you created the business is because you have a love for it. And there is still so much that you can do, so much love that you can share with the world, but it just needs to spark. So let us help you out into decluttering the business closet and make it spark joy once again. We look forward to hearing from you. It's going to be a blast. Looking forward to receiving your application. Mwah.
Ciao.